Welcome to your first day on the job, Carla. I think you'll do just fine here at Western Arms.
I sure hope so. I've been studying the inventory and reading up on all the gun types and their uses. But it seems I still have a lot to learn, especially about all the federal rules and regulations.
Don't worry, Carla. Once you complete a few transactions, you'll see that everything comes down to following some simple procedures. I'll always be close by, making sure everything you do stays within the law. Why don't you see if that customer over there needs any help? Remember to ask me if you have any questions, especially if you are unclear as to the legality of any transaction.
Hi, my name is Carla. Are you looking for a shotgun?
Well, I'm going hunting with a friend in a couple of weeks, and I think it's time to buy a new gun.
We have an excellent selection of long guns for all types of hunting and sport shooting. What type of hunting are you planning to do?
Oh, I'm strictly a seasonal duck hunter.
You might be interested in this one. It's versatile, dependable, and value-priced. Let me make sure the chamber is clear. Here you go, sir. How does it feel?
I've actually read about it in some magazines. It's very highly rated. Feels just as well balanced as the reviewers suggested. I'll go ahead and take it.
Great. Just follow me to the counter and I'll start the transaction.
Here's my credit card.
Thank you, but I need you to fill out some paperwork first, and I have to check your ID before I can ring up the sale. Please fill out, sign, and date Form 4473. Is that right, Mr. Lucas?
That's right. Then you'll need to run the NICS background check.
What's a NICS background check?
NICS is the National Instant Criminal Background Check System, which is run by the FBI and contains information from federal and state agencies about persons prohibited under federal law from receiving or possessing firearms. We run a NICS check to make sure that it's okay to transfer the firearm to you.
Wow, I don't recall having to go through a background check like this the last time I bought a gun. Is it store policy?
No, it's actually required by federal law. Under the 1993 Brady Law, all firearm transfers to people not holding a federal firearms license require us to run this check. The process is actually very simple. Depending on the state or region in which it does business, a dealer can access the NICS system by fax or telephone. Soon, Western Arms will move to a new computer-based system, NICS eCheck, and our computers will call directly into the NICS computer. But currently, we fax in our requests. Also, the point of contact varies from state to state. In some areas, it will be at the state or local police. In others, the sheriff's office or even the NICS office at the FBI. Currently, we fax our requests to a dedicated number at the state police, and they reply within minutes, in one of three ways. Proceed if no disqualifying information is found, delayed if more time is required, or denied if the record indicates that the transaction would violate federal or state law. Again, depending on the point of contact and how a dealer accesses the NICS system, the responses may be phrased differently. But the intent always remains the same. And remember, every time we contact the NICS system, the inquiry generates a transaction number that we must record on the ATF Form 4473 that is filled out for any firearms transaction. Another thing to remember is that even if the NICS check indicates that it's okay to proceed, you must deny a transaction if you know or have reasonable cause to believe that the customer is prohibited by law from possessing a firearm. For example, if you feel that the customer dishonestly filled out the form or improperly identified him or herself, you must deny the transaction. Fortunately, Mr. Sparrow, I have no reason to believe that you will fall into those categories. So as soon as the NICS check tells us to proceed, we can continue with the transaction.
I see.
Mr. Lucas, while I understand what proceed and denied mean, what does delayed mean?
A delayed response indicates that the system couldn't complete the search within the normal time. It usually means that some further research is needed to confirm the transaction's validity. While delays rarely happen, they simply mean that the customer will have to wait a little longer. If we don't get a response back from our point of contact within 3 business days, we can proceed with the transfer. But as a policy, we usually wait to hear from NICS. Well, the NICS check is in order, and the forms are properly filled out and signed. Carla, please put Mr. Sparrow's purchase aside while I ring up the sale and record the transaction in the record of receipt and disposition. Mr. Sparrow, our state has no waiting period on long guns. Therefore, we can transfer your firearm purchase to you today. Here's the receipt for your new shotgun.
Thank you. Remember, verifying customer identification, filling out Form 4473, running a NICS check, and recording the transaction in the record of receipt and disposition, as well as informing customers about any applicable waiting periods, are standard procedures for all firearm transactions. You can find more information about the ATF Form 4473 in Scene 2 and the record of receipt and disposition in Scene 3.